Saturday night. Welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. Let's see who is in my green room for you this evening. I like to think we've got someone for everyone tonight, OK? We have the host of The X Factor, the fun-sized sex symbol that is Mr. Dermot O'Leary. Hello, Dermot. Looking impeccable as ever. Best dressed man in show business. Next up, the star of one of the most popular sitcoms of all time. From Birds of a Feather, we have the original Essex girl, Linda Robson. Cup of gin. My next guest is a massive international pop star. He had the biggest selling album of the last decade. He also has all the latest royal baby news, because he's a friend of the family. It's James Blunt. Hey, James. What's up? And what can I say about my next guest? Well, probably nothing he hasn't already said about himself, but even louder. Comedian, actor, writer, and quite possibly our future Prime Minister. God help us. It's Russell Brand, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Very handsome, quite suave gentleman. OK, yeah, before we get to that, let me share some stuff from the news for you. Scientists this week have predicted, get ready for this, because this is a big figure you can hear now. They predicted that half of the UK population will be obese by the year 2050. That's a shocking thought, isn't it? But I say no. It does not have to be that way. With a bit of will and determination, Britain, we can change this depressing statistic. We can make it 100% obese by 2050. What do you say? Come on. We can do it. You know? And I can see, looking out there, some of you are leading the way already, so congratulations. I didn't actually mean anyone, but one woman over there went, oi, very quickly, so I'm not looking, I'm not making any judgment. It was a joke. Apparently, we're all much fatter than we thought, and that would explain all this flooding. It's not global warming, Britain's sinking. It was, I'm sure you know this already, it was International No Trousers Day this week. At least that's what the French President, Francois Hollande, told his wife. It's alleged he's having an affair with an actress. Okay. And if that's true, who's surprised? Because that's just French men. Okay? If he's having an affair, French men can't commit. I saw one at the supermarket once. When he got to tell, he wouldn't even take a bag for life. The president's poll ratings have actually gone up since the affair became public, which of course means, you know, people should follow that example, because over here, all of our leaders' ratings are at an all-time low. So just a suggestion, Mr. Cameron, you need to have an affair with a high-profile actress, and I don't know if you've seen Mrs. Brown's Boys, but I think Mrs. Brown is available. And I think they will make a lovely couple. So, as I said, it was International No Trousers Day this week, and apparently for a day it was OK to travel on the London Underground in your underwear, which is strange, as normally they ask you to report it if you see any suspicious-looking packages. Actually, it was great fun, though. Everyone was chatting with each other. Is that Shepherd's Bush? I'm sorry, I don't know what she does for a living. Russell, did you take... I don't know why I'm asking you, actually. You had a whole decade where you didn't wear trousers. OK, James, let me ask you, though. Is it true, Mr. Blunt, that you don't wear underwear ever?
No. Sometimes.
What, sometimes it's true you never wear underwear, or it's sometimes you wear underwear?
I wish I had tonight.
OK. So you're not wearing underwear?
I'm currently not wearing underwear.
Why do you not wear underwear? I'm just curious as to... What...
Just to save time.
Well, what kind of underwear have you been wearing? It's got, like, hooks and buckles on it? What is it?
Very old-fashioned kind of stuff.
OK. Dermot?
Yeah.
Watching you on TV, it's like every day is like No Trousers Day for you. Your trousers are so tight, they're like a second skin.
Talking about? They're just well-fitted.
They were so tight, you can take his pulse just by looking at him. OK, ladies and gentlemen, shall we get my first guest out? He's a political activist now, really. I mean, he does a lot of things, but that's what we think of him as, and I only got him here because I lied to him and told him that we were doing question time tonight. It is, of course, the fabulous Mr. Russell Brand, ladies and gentlemen. Come and sit down. Get yourself as comfortable as you get. You do it. I can understand why you whistle. He is a fine-looking specimen of a human man. You are a good-looking human man. You've worked at it, though, haven't you?
Ever so hard. As you know, I was a portly child and was victimised as such.
But now you're lean as a whippet. Look at you, there's nothing of you.
Do you think so?
Yeah, look at that. You just don't eat, or you're on one of those special diets? What do you do, Russell?
Well, what it is, like, generally, I try not to eat unless there's a particular purpose behind it. Don't just jam a big bit of... Like, what are you up to now, for example?
Have a little drink of water.
Extraordinary way to behave. Like, don't eat to try and make yourself happy. Don't put anything in your mouth unless you've got a legitimate reason to do so. That would be my advice to you.
And I bet you've given that advice out many times over the years. Let me ask you about this, because you're now talking about global politics, about capitalism, about the state of the world, and you have remarkably seemed to have got away with it so far.
I don't know how this has happened. What happened is, I went on that Pac-Man, as I call him.
Yep.
I opened my mouth. You should see his wife. She's exactly the same as him, just with a ribbon in her ear.
Right, kids?
Right? No, like, what it is I've got these heartfelt views.
Yes.
Like, they're spiritually derived as opposed to politically, 'cause politically, too much reading involved. Spiritually, just sit quietly, don't do anything. I started shouting my mouth off about it whilst on Pac-Man. All of a sudden, I'm getting taken seriously, and I'm going to ride this shit out. Yeah. I'm against all forms of division now, Jonathan. That class system, that's been a bloody trick. I looked at my family tree. Turns out, like, a couple of generations... Every time you go back a generation, obviously it doubles, doesn't it, due to the nature of sexual procreation. So, like, you know, go back one, everyone's like cobblers and bottle makers and all stupid Charles Dickens jobs in my family. But then a bit further more, the more it divides, you realise that the class system is just another artificial system to separate us from one another. Everyone wants the same thing, really, so I don't go in for any form of division or judgment of anyone, only be really, really nice.
So how far back did you... That's a lovely, unsophisticated sentiment.
I'm brilliant!
But how far back did you trace your family tree? I mean, were there surprises? Will you go on the BBC show Who Do You Think You Are? Would you do that and allow them to trace you back? Because they would love to have you, wouldn't they?
What I worry about... Well, yeah, I would go on Who Do You Think You Are. I can answer that in a...
Simple yes.
Who do you think you are? Jesus! That's the end of the show. I'll be back in 3 days, better than ever.
OK, this brings us to the concept of a Messiah complex.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the concept behind your current tour. You discussing people who you have identified as may well or have been seen as having that particular complex. Do you suffer from it, though, Russell? Because you are someone who obviously... I mean, you've made yourself look a bit like a kind of rock and roll Jesus type.
Yeah.
There's a Messiah look about you, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I know it's just because without a beard you look weird. But at the same time...
I didn't like it when you said that to me, when I had to shave my beard off for a film. Jonathan goes, oh, look at that, you should leave that beard on. You look like a fetus. And my friend Matt said you look like Darth Vader when he took his helmet off. Hurtful comments from supposed friends.
So you yourself don't suffer from that, though, do you? I don't believe. I mean, you obviously, we all like to think we're important and we have something to say and that people should listen to us, but you don't believe that you are, or do you think you should be a leader of men?
No, this is what I've worked out, that we've all got, within us, we've been all divided off by, like, sort of bizarre systems of categorisation, whether it's race or religion or nationality. Many of these categorisation systems are bogus. So someone will come along, Malcolm X, Jesus, Che Guevara, Gandhi, and they carry an essential message of divinity, and we all connect to that because we recognise it from within ourselves. All them men were prepared to give their lives for what they believe in. I ain't interested in leading people, but the idea of representing people in the way that they did, I find that very, very appealing, because I think at this time everyone feels a little bit lost and underrepresented and ripped off. I don't recall a time when people felt so such animosity and antipathy towards politicians. But like them people, George Osborne, David Cameron, something's gone wrong. They're not meant to be in charge. Look at them, they look too weird. Their lips are peculiar. They look like they could accumulate gunk in the corners of their mouth. They can't be in charge. Something's gone wrong, Jonathan.
They do look a bit overfed as well, don't they?
They're sort of porcine and bloated. They're like, you know, in Animal Farm, when the pigs stand up in costumes.
Yeah.
I think about that when I see them.
Just in the interest of some sort of political balance, do you feel that...
I'm not interested in political balance. We don't have it now. Why should we pretend? No one's getting represented properly.
But do you feel that way about the other would-be leaders, then?
What are they? Clegg? He's a bit Mickey Mouse. And then there's the other one, Miliband. At least he probably looks like inside him he does basically care about other humans.
How can you... Hold it. What is this gift you have for looking at people and seeing inside them what they're feeling?
Is it a gift or is it simple proctology? That's the science of going up people's bumholes.
Have you had the proctored examination yourself while we're watching this? Because you're at the age where you need...
steady on, old boy. I don't let people up there lightly.
Well...
If you're going up there, you better be well experienced.
Well, you need someone to have a look at you up there. You need someone to give that a go, because as you get to your age, this is the time when you need a doctor to put his finger up there for you.
No chance. How come we've gone in this direction?
Because...
I'm basically healthy. Why are you all trying to get up me Harris?
Because...
What's going on? Let me get up his Jacksie.
No, I was thinking, because you're now 40. 40's when you got to do it.
I ain't 40.
How old are you?
38.
Well, there you go. You're as good as.
Hold on, mate. You can't just meddle with time in this... It's as good as. Me, you don't let me look into people's essence and suddenly you can bend time. Peculiar abilities you're claiming to have. Linda Robson thinks you've made a bad choice of tie. We were chatting about it back there. Yes! Fight the power! This is a representation of the system. Destroy it! It might just be a tie. We can't tell.
Is that better for you, Linda?
Bloody hell.
Look at that.
You're gorgeous. Come on, let's talk about stupid stuff to cheer everyone up.
Well, no, but there is that. Sometimes that's the function of entertainment. But at the same time, we're entitled to have a nice time as well, aren't we?
We are, yeah. Everyone have a nice time. Don't have a big boring revolution. It'd be nice and cuddly and fun for everyone.
So, speaking of cuddly and fun, you are, if I may use the vernacular, you are loved up at the moment.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy in a relationship that feels very different from anything I've experienced before.
Why? How does it feel different?
I think it's because it's with a dog. No, it's because it's with a human being that...
that has a dog.
That has a dog.
No, but you're connecting with this person in a different way to previous people?
Yeah, I think so. I feel sort of more like it's grounded in friendship and sort of love, and like it's all well cool and exciting and stuff, but it feels different for me.
Well, that's a lovely thing.
Thanks, Jonathan. And
she's a very different sort of person, the sort of people you've been out with. She's older than the younger people you used to go out with. She's not an old person, I know, but...
It's Ethel out of EastEnders. God, she's filth! And that Willie, the dog, I'll do him and all.
It does fit, doesn't it?
She's going to kill me for that bit. She's gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful woman. I'm still superficial, don't get me wrong. Still only got a top crumpet.
But here's the thing.
I only go to tidy birds, Jonathan. I ain't interested in none of your rubbish. No, that's pretty good, wasn't it? Well, anyone who can do that much hip movement while seated should be in charge of a country. Look at that guy!
If David Cameron could do that, his popularity would soar.
Us to freedom! Yes!
My boy! My boy!
Hello, come on in.
We should explain that this is Brian, isn't it? Tell us who Brian is.
Brian's Jemima, my girlfriend's dog. I love him so much. I feel real tranquil and peaceful around him. Look how noble and glorious he is.
He really is a noble beast.
But he's called Brian, which undermines him.
Yeah. Well, what a sweetheart, and he's obviously formed a close relationship with you.
Yeah, I love him so much. We go for romps in the countryside. Come off it, right? And, like, he loves it out there.
What, he's an Alsatian, is he?
Yeah, he's an Alsatian. He's come out white. What's it? He's a lovely, beautiful dog, and he's representative of very pure principles, but the sad thing is he does look like the logo of a far-right party. Like a symbol of Nazism, but with a heart of gold. He's like a cuddly Hitler.
He's a beautiful boy. How old is this?
So beautiful. He's under 2 years old.
OK, I'm gonna raise the unthinkable here.
What's that?
OK, well, bear yourself for this.
What do you mean, the unthinkable? Where are you going now?
OK, say you, and I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but say the relationship doesn't work out.
Oh, don't say that, mate. I really love her.
I know.
I'll hurt my little heart.
OK, I hope so, but...
I'm just getting your tie for...
I'll fake...
Look at that, he even follows me over there.
Yeah.
Come on, mate, come back over here.
Let me finish, though.
Yeah, go on.
OK, because I'm not going to... give me the... You're going to
No way, I'm putting it on him. To undermine your callous line of questioning.
You don't know what I'm going to say yet. He doesn't want it either. Look,
Brian, where you going, mate? Brian!
Here, Brian, look what I've got. Brian.
Put tie on.
Put tie on? That's not a recognised dog command. Put tie on.
Put tie on! Put tie on, Brian. I'm just making him look all... Linda Robson's going to think he looks like shit now. Now, what? Like, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be really kind in this relationship and just change myself, not try and change other people, be tolerant and lovely, and I think with that attitude, everything will be all right.
Well, you do seem happier and more...
Look how relaxed I am and calm.
Sorted.
Look at me, I'm
you
not
are
going around.
more
By now, I'd have been
relaxed.
out there trying to nail everyone. Look at me now, relaxed.
Russell, I'm pleased you came back on. I love seeing you on the show, and it's a thrill for me to have you here. It always is.
I'm glad your show's gone good again and is successful and you're not so fat. I hated it when you went fat. I love you.
Russell Brand, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Russell, before you go, sit down with Brian. I want you to
sit here?
Well, for a little while.
Everyone clapped. I feel embarrassed.
Yeah, no, you're gonna go in a minute, and I'm sure people don't mind clapping again. But before you go, I want you to come out again. Will you stick around and come out at the end of the show? Yes.
I'm not doing that.
Because James Blunt has got something he wants to.
I love him. I think he's got. What the f is he up to? He's gone mad. He's on drugs.
He's brought something
Makes
along
sense.
that he wants you to inhale later on.
Yeah.
Don't tell us what it is now.
I like James Blunt, actually. He's a kind man. You can tell he's decent.
What have you seen?
Plus, weren't he in? I looked inside him. He's fine. Straight up rejects it.
Yes. I'm going to
Weird.
put my tie back on. I feel I look like Eamon Holmes or something without it on.
Yeah, you look like you're trying too hard to be young. And when you do that, you normally destroy the BBC. So put your
No, I'm not letting you have that one out. Sit down.
I feel like I should go, mate.
Yeah, sit down.
I feel
I'm trying to get rid of you. Sit down. Sit down.
So I'm feeling that feeling I get.
No, don't.
All right.
OK. Ladies and gentlemen, the
feeling.
Shut up!
I'm transforming! Arthur Russell's coming! Destroy broadcasting institution!
Put your... Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Russell Brand. Don't go away. Lovely. Don't go away because we still have Linda Robson come, Dermot O'Leary, James Blunt and Russell will be back there later on as well. So, see you after the break. Welcome back, thank you very much indeed. We're going to get my next guest out now, and I put on a new tie. I hope she'll approve of this one. She's back on our screens in the massively successful Birds of a Feather. Will you please welcome Linda Robson? Those shoes look high. Linda Robson, come sit down, get yourself comfy. So you see, Linda, you see the trouble you caused earlier.
I know, and that one's not much better, is it, love?
What? I never knew you were such...
I preferred the blue one.
Well, now you tell me I've lost that
Get
to
it
a
back
dog.
Off Brian.
Brian's a lovely animal, isn't he?
Lovely, isn't he?
It's all right back there.
Smothered in dogs here now.
Yeah, well, but you know that's part of the fun of having a dog, isn't it?
It is,
Have you got any animals?
I've got a white, short-haired staffy called George, and he's 11, so I'm used to having dog's hairs all over me.
Well, he's getting old. You must be. He's kind of been around
He's getting
for a while.
on, I know,
Is he well trained? Is he a well behaved
lovely.
animal?
He's really, really lovely. He just wants to be stroked all the time.
I know the feeling. OK, so, congratulations on the huge success of Birds of a Feather. It's back on ITV here now. It used to be on the BBC, of course, but it's here on ITV. First show got almost 11 million viewers, which is incredible.
I know.
These days. Did you think it would be that big a hit? 'Cause it's 15 years since it was on.
Never in a million years.
I mean, you obviously hadn't lost touch with the girls.
No, we've been in touch over the years, but just the three of us had never actually worked together until we did the tour. So the tour was just like, I mean, it was the most amazing time, honestly. We toured all over the country. We stayed for a week in each place. The first tour was supposed to be 10 weeks, and then it went to 17 weeks. So we started off in little hotels, and then we started staying in little apartments, and so we were all together, shared dressing rooms, and it was just, I mean, that first rehearsal period, we never stopped talking, the three of us. The director never got a word in edgeways, you know.
I know the feeling. But I love that about you. You get a very full answer.
I don't stop talking, I know, yeah. You know what my nickname is at home? Baggy Mouth.
Baggy mouth?
Yeah. I'll give away lots of secrets as well, because I do lose swimming, and on
really?
there I'm always putting my foot in it and saying something about my husband, or... because he waxes himself, you know,
What?
He doesn't wax himself, he has his chest waxed and his back waxed.
Why does he have
He's
his
going to
chest
kill me.
waxed?
I said, I've done it again now, Baggy Mouth again.
So it's so lovely to see the three of you back, because the relationship is crucial to the show.
Yeah.
But what's nice is now we can go back to it, and they've all changed. All their lives have gone through big changes. They're all in a very different place, aren't they?
Yeah, it's no good pretending it's 15 years ago. It's 15 years later, and these women have moved on in their lives. They hadn't seen each other for quite a long time, and then in the first episode of this series, Tracy's remarried someone called Ralph, and Sharon hated him, and rightly so. She turned out to be right. He was a wrong 'un. Dorian's moved away, and she's written this book, 60 Shades of Green. and they all meet up for the first time in ages, and then, I don't know if you see the first episode, but they all end up back in the same house. So Tracy's been there on her own with Travis. All of a sudden, Sharon's back, and Tracy's delighted she's come back, and then there's a knock on the door, and there's Dorian.
And Dorian has to move in again, of course.
She moves in, yeah, because she's had all her assets frozen.
Now, this is... we've got a clip to show you. Before we do, here's a picture, because Dorian can still rock the designer clothing.
She looks fantastic. She's 69 years of age, and she's got more energy than me and Pauline put together.
Well, let's have a... This is a picture there. What's going on in that outfit there? Because that's... you paint a beard and moustache on that. It's Russell Brand on a night out. Look at that. OK, let's have a look at the clip. It's Thursday nights, ITV, 8:30. It's great fun. It gave me a real warm feeling watching it again. I really enjoyed seeing you guys back together on the screen. Here you go.
Oh, come on, Shal. This is loads better than the box room. It's cosy. It's got a big telly. It's right next door to the downstairs loo for when you come home all Schindlers. Good night, Shal. Love ya.
Yeah, whatever.
Sharon.
It weren't me. It's the bed. Look, listen. Go on, come over.
Night, Shal. Sharon!
Yeah, that was me.
But it's, you know what's so nice? And in a way, I always thought it was ahead of its time. You see, it feels like a real relationship, and it feels like the way women really are.
Well, it sort of is, because we've known each other so many years, like 25 years. We've all been friends and we've all worked together, and we've been through so much together. Yeah. Weddings, funerals, christenings.
And you're a grandma now, is that right?
I am,
That's incredible. I would never
I'll get out of it,
It's
Jonathan.
incredible. Well, I still think of you two as, like, young girls.
There she is, I know, yeah.
Now, there's this true, you gave up smoking because of her, is that right?
Yeah, I packed up smoking, like, a long time ago. I packed up smoking for 17 years. On my 50th birthday, I was out with all my friends and just went out. Everyone that was interesting around the table went out for a fag. So I went out, had a cigarette, and then within about 2 weeks, I'd started smoking again. Yeah. And it became, like, the biggest pain of my life, because the kids and my husband didn't know, so I was having to eat oranges all the time to get rid of the smell of fags and perfume, you know, breath freshener and all of that.
So you would try and disguise it? You were not telling any of them you were...
I used to have towels wrapped around my head. Wow. When I picked, Bobby up from school, I used to have, like, oranges in the car. Then they got to know that when I'd had an orange, I'd had a fag. Yeah. So as soon as you smelled an orange, you went to me, "You've been smoking again, haven't you?" So I packed up smoking. So I haven't smoked for 4 years, but I'm on nicotine replacement still.
But I heard some sniffing going on, so is that how you stop yourself from smoking?
Well, I've got nicotine replacement. It's a nasal spray that you have, and when I first started taking the nasal spray, I used to go into the toilet to do it, and I say to the kids, "I'm going in the toilet for a sniff," and they went, "Don't keep saying that, Mum, you're going to get yourself into trouble." So I've got one here now on my person. I always have one on me.
Can I see it? Or
you can see it. Hold on a minute.
Where is it, then?
Exposing myself. I always have it down my bra.
Oh, OK. Close to your heart.
There it is.
OK, so you just snort that
you just
up.
have a little... That's nicotine, pure nicotine, Jonathan. It's lovely. Might have a little sniff now, actually.
No, I don't know whether you're allowed to, are you?
I am allowed to, yeah. Calm me down.
A little pick-me-up. But, yeah, so you're still in Islington. That's very unusual.
Still in Islington, yeah. I'm not moving out.
One thing I need to ask you, and I remember reading about this a while ago, you were mugged, weren't you? You were mugged... in Islington, at your doorstep, and that would put some people off an area. Yeah,
it did put me off for a little bit, but what happened was, George, the dog who we were talking about earlier, he was a puppy at the time, and I was in bed, and I said to the kids, I said, "Can you smell a funny smell?" And he went, "You could smell it anyway." He'd had a little accident, he'd had diarrhea downstairs.
Poor George.
So, poor George, I know, yeah, I'd probably given him something I wasn't supposed to give him. I'm always giving him little treats. Anyway, so I go downstairs, and there's diarrhea everywhere, so I cleaned it all up, and put it into a Selfridges bag. I'd been to Selfridges that day. I'm not product placement or anything, but I've put it in a Selfridges bag.
It's a nice posh bag, though.
I know, it was a nice
bright yellow
posh bag.
Yeah.
Walked out onto the doorstep, and just opposite where I used to live was a church, and it had some skips outside, and you know you're not supposed to put your own rubbish in other people's skips. But so I did a little sneaky. So I was sneaking across the road to put the dog shit in the Selfridges bag in the skip, and someone rode past me on a bike, punched me in the face, and took the bag of shit.
I I'm very sorry to hear about the punch.
I had a black eye.
I'm really sorry
yeah.
about that, but it's a great ending to the episode.
It was, yeah. So I couldn't wait, you know, it'd be nice to find out if he'd put his hands in there and pulled out the gun. I hope he did.
OK, well, brilliant story. I'm so thrilled you're OK.
Yes, I'm fine.
And it's great to see you back on TV with Pauline,
you
with
very
Leslie. It
much.
really is lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, the
Cheers,
fabulous
thank
Linda
you.
Robson. Still to come after a break, Dermot O'Leary will be here, James Dunn will be playing some music, and he'll be showing Russell how to sing just like him, so don't go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest right out here. He has been, if I may use his own phrases, he's been on more journeys, more emotional roller coasters than any man in history. He's made that job his own, and you know what? He deserves to be on that stage. It is, of course, Dermot O'Leary. You're looking great, Dermot.
Like a manly hug. Let's hug it out.
You are the hugger. Wow. Now I know.
Good evening, everyone.
That was a proper X Factor hug I just got
well,
there. That really-
you dropped in a couple of cliches, so I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
thought I'd, you know,
That
I'd
was
respond in kind.
That's a great hug. That's a really... I feel strangely alive.
It's
for the first-
energising, isn't it?
I've never felt more alive.
How are you? All right?
I'm great. It's great to see you here.
I'm all right, man. I'm
You always
so
look-
nice. I'm covered in Brian. That's the only thing. He's so...
Now I know why Paul O'Grady does it. He's a beautiful
it's
animal, isn't he?
impossible not to hug.
What a sweetheart. Look how
Right, we
calm
just
he
got
is.
2 cats. They're about 8 months old now. My wife delivered 2 cats. We got a little place in Italy and we rent it out, and this cat started hanging around called Plaxi over the last couple of years.
a wild cat was hanging?
Yeah. So we started feeding it, and it's become very pally, and we've got a couple that run it for us, so they were feeding it as well. We went out on Easter, and I came back and was pregnant, and I came back a day early, and Dee, my wife, called me up and just went, just to let you know, she's having the kittens now in our bed.
Wow.
And that's it. So
She was delivering the... That's disgusting.
So it's not. Well, you would say so. But say Dee sort of went a little bit Jesus and made her a manger.
Hold it. Jesus didn't deliver cats and put them in a manger.
He was born in a manger.
And you came home like
He
one
was
of
born
those
in a
kings.
manger with some good Egyptian cotton towels. So deconstructed this kind of little kind of crib, I suppose, for her, and then stayed up with her all night, held her paw. She was like pushing against her. Gave her a little bit of water. And then 4 kittens popped out. So we just thought, well, we've got 2.
So you've got them over here.
Yeah, but
Do
they'll be very annoyed tonight
Can
when I
ask
go
you-
back home.
This might seem a
because I'll
silly
be smelling of Brian.
But do they meow like in an Italian accent, or have they grown up British?
The Tom does.
Really?
Yeah,
How's
Silver.
it go? Give us
He
a
goes,
first.
And he sort of shrugged his shoulders like an Italian Tom as well.
He's a cool
like,
Italian cat. So anyway, congratulations as always on X Factor. You're always doing a great job on
Thanks,
that.
man.
I know you got other shows we're going to talk about coming out, but do you hang out with the guys because this is Gary's last year? He's going.
Sad, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sad.
Gonna miss Gary.
Sad. Gary's going. Sharon's gone.
Do you know what? Last year was probably my favourite year we've done, just because, I don't know, with Sharon back, that was the great thing about Sharon, is she does feel like the mum of the show, and she, you know, everyone got on really well. There wasn't all of that awful tension that you sort of read about in the papers halfway through, where so-and-so said so-and-so about so-and-so. And it's just all so schoolyard, and it's quite a corrosive atmosphere. I hate all that. I like it when, you know, there's going to be rivalry, and that's all clean fun, but it's just when it gets kind of nasty, I hated it. So everyone got on really well, and I think Sharon was a real fulcrum to that, because, you know, like I said, she's she's such a mum to the show, and she brought, you know, she made Louis relevant again, which I never thought would happen. And I'm joking. I'm not joking. Thank you. But you know that if you mess with her, she'll send you a shit in the post.
Yeah, you know, she doesn't forget.
No.
How about Mr. Cowell? How about Simon Cowell? Congratulations to him, of course, because his baby is imminent, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
February, early February, do you think when's the baby due?
I don't know.
It's February, I think.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He hasn't told you that
We
he's
do not
expecting a
talk about... When we talk, we
You
talk...
don't talk about stuff?
We talk... He doesn't... not really an emotional guy, Simon. He's not going to ring up. He doesn't need a Dermot hug, put it that way.
He doesn't open up to you about these sort of things?
We don't know.
You don't know about it?
We have professional chats, Simon. I mean, and we went to... And I really like that, because there's a... You know, there's an element of trust there, and, you know, I don't know if I'm coming back next year, but
Yeah, he never tells you in advance, does he?
Well, or I never tell him. Yes.
Now, let's...
By the way,
No.
I'm not going to come back next year after saying that.
Let's go back to the real world. He never tells you in advance.
Well, but So we sit down and we sort of talk end of January, but even then I don't really talk to Simon.
So you've spoken to him this year, or not?
No.
Have you spoken to him since he found out he was going to be a father?
No. I've sent him a text saying congratulations, but we had that kind of relationship.
Did he send you a text back saying thanks, or...?
Darling. You can sort of just read his text that you know he's smoking menthol cigarettes at the end of it.
Yeah.
With a Bond cat next to him.
Do you think you make a good dad? I suppose you have to say yes anyway, but has he exhibited any signs of actual human warmth at any stage that you've been around?
No whatsoever. Yeah. I think he'd make a great 1920s dad. No, you know what? He's a good boss. He lets me get on with it, and we've got a good relationship.
Yeah.
And
well, you do a great job. Who's he going to replace you with? There's no one he can replace you with, I don't think.
Don't tell him that, because then he'll just think that's a challenge, and now he'll want to replace me with someone.
I won't say that. Hey, OK, so this week you've been standing in for Philip Schofield.
I've had all I really want to do, Jonathan, is host live TV every day.
You love doing live TV?
I love doing live TV.
OK, so this morning is probably the best job you could have then.
I've had so much fun, and Holly's a really old mate, so we've had a real laugh this week.
The lovely Holly. Now, who you normally have, they have a wide section of guests on the show. It's a great fun show to be invited down to. Fun this week. You have a bunch of characters on every week. I did have a list here, but I don't know where I've put it, so it's gone.
I can tell you.
OK, tell me who was on this week.
Well, we had... I don't know if you got any shots of this, but we had this guy... There was a Channel 4 documentary last week about chaps. It's not necessarily a transgender thing. They just like dressing up as their ideal woman. So they'll create a suit. So what happens here is this is during a break, and he is in Orange County in America, so he's very kindly come into a TV studio. It's probably first thing in the morning for him, or middle of the night. So
you haven't seen this person
No.
yet?
And Holly, bear in mind, she was wearing a dress early on. She wasn't happy with it before we went live, so she changed her dress. And during the break, we get this kind of, you have to practice this kind of what we call a two-way, so I'm speaking to him, he's speaking to us, and I'm in the middle of this.
And so what we're seeing, this is we're Holly, and we're seeing this is this gentleman wearing his rubber outfit and rubber mask that he likes to go out in sometimes.
Yeah.
OK, let's have a look at it. There you go.
It does it so much justice. It's better than I remembered it.
Wow. That's pretty good.
By the way, he can't see Holly. Holly can obviously see him.
Wow.
So all that's happening during this interview is... And this is supposed to be the serious item of the day. And, and you've got to be quite sensitive to... And I can't stop pissing myself with laughter. Have you met Holly? Because if you haven't, Google her immediately.
Yeah. I love how pissed off Holly is, because she's thinking, I'm meant to have the cleavage on this show. So, Dermot, who loves doing live TV, and on a safer pair of hands in the business, is hosting the National Television Awards next week, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night,
next week, live show. You've hosted... How many years now have you done of this show?
I think this is my 5th.
How many times have you been nominated in the entertainment category?
I don't know.
As entertainment presenter?
When you realise you're never going to beat Anne Deck, you do sort of... what we call the annual runner-up to Anne Deck Award. And do you know what? Quite rightly so. Because I know you'll think, oh, you're only just saying that, but they do such a good job, and they're stalwarts and they're brilliant. They deserve every success. So
well, they are the gold standard. They are the gold standard of presenting. There's no two ways about it. But they've won, I think, 12 years in a row.
I know.
And you're nominated against them this year.
Yeah.
So there is a chance this year.
No, there isn't.
There is a chance.
No, there isn't.
But you must have been feeling there's a chance, or
no.
do you know in advance?
2 or 3 years ago, I thought, you know what? It might. No, it's not going to happen. Fine. OK. You've been nominated a few times.
I've won loads of times.
Wait, no!
But you know what? It doesn't matter, because you're right. They do deserve it.
Yes.
OK, OK. Here. Here, do you want a hug? Come on.
I don't want a hug.
Come on.
Tuscan leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
OK, that was the best bit of spotting he's ever done. He sniffed my wrist, he went, is that Tuscan leather? Which it is, that's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing Tuscan leather. Dermot, it's great to see you again. Congratulations on being the best live host on TV, ladies and gentlemen, and I put you right up there with Ant and Dec, because they're terrific, but you're great as well. Because they are so great. I hope you win this year. Please let it be your year this year, but I know you don't mind, you're hosting. Who cares? But I look forward to all the other shows as well. Dermot O'Leary, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Dermot O'Leary, don't go away. After the break, I'll be chatting with James Blunt. He'll be singing live and he'll be teaching us all how to sing like him. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out here this evening. He's a performer who was greatly influenced by Queen. when she said, James, try singing ballads. It's James Blunt, ladies and gentlemen. An outdoor-indoor place.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you? Looking great.
I'm very well, very nice.
Hey, congratulations to you. You recently got engaged, I believe.
I am, exactly. She doesn't know that yet, but...
No, she doesn't.
It's true.
When was it? When did you get engaged?
Just around Christmas.
Wow. And was it did she know in advance you were working up to that, or was it a big surprise for her?
Yeah, I was... I'm wearing the same clothes, aren't I? Shit.
You are actually wearing... exactly the same outfit.
I was thinking in a foreign country, maybe people won't spot that I wear the same clothes.
You really know how to make a girl feel special.
Yeah.
Come on, tell me how it happened. I'd like to know how it happened.
I'm not going to tell you.
Come on, it's a tough thing.
No.
Was it hidden somewhere? Did you have it hidden in a cake or maybe an ice cream? Or did you have an eagle bring it down? Or was a dog that looked like a wolf run in mysteriously and anoint you as the next Prime Minister and then deliver it into her hand via like that?
No.
OK. Am I close?
No, you're not. I just stuck a finger on her.
Wow, that's the way to do it. You know, that's the way to do it. You might as well start as you mean to go on. OK. You know one of the things I like about James? When James first came out on the scene, and when was that first big hit? When was your beautiful big hit?
It must have been about almost 10 years ago, 2000 and... Well, 2005, I think, is when it's...
OK, huge hit. Everyone loves that song. I adore that song. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. Maybe it's been a bit overplayed over the years.
Overplayed.
As hits are, often. But I've never seen someone take so much flack early on, and people kind of really... A lot of people took against you, it struck me. Why do you think there was?
Well, I have a very stupid speaking voice. That would warrant me a little bit of... And I sing like a girl.
You have a beautiful voice.
I have a slightly high-pitched voice, and I sing songs that are a bit, I suppose, a bit effeminate. A bit over-emotional.
And did they think maybe you were being fake, or did they just didn't like the sound of your voice? Because your voice sounds nice to me. I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with that.
I think if you just play that song so many times, it just gets fucking irritating, doesn't it?
That's probably the answer.
Yeah.
Right there. I love the way you engage people, because people still now, and like any famous person, if you're on Twitter, you're going to get some idiots come out and say mean things to you, and I love the way you deal with them. I have some of James's. You kind of don't seem to mind dealing with this sort of thing head-on. I guess. Does it bother you, or it doesn't bother you when someone says...
No, I've actually just started enjoying Twitter now, because I couldn't really find any reason to be on it before. I didn't want to tell people why I was having breakfast.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't
not
a very good breakfast.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I just...
You just respond to sentences. So someone tweeted, I don't know if you remember, Mike, show you, someone tweeted James and said, no one is more annoying than James Blunt. You remember what you wrote back? You wrote back...
Yay, I'm #1 again.
That's good energy.
I think it was my mother who posted the first tweet.
OK, how about this one? James Blunt just has an annoying face and a highly irritating voice. To which James replied...
And no mortgage.
That's a pretty good... Well, that ends that one. That's what you call shutting the troll right down. OK, I'm going to end on my favourite one here. Why does James Blunt sing like his willy is being stood on?
Damn thing's always getting caught under my feet.
It's the way to deal with Twitter, the James Blunt way. Now, everyone knows elements of your story. You served in the army, and you were in the army at the same time as Prince Harry.
A little bit after. I mean, he joined after me, so there was a time where he would call me Sir, perhaps, but now I would call him Your Highness.
And you were in the same part there? You were in the Household Cavalry? Was that right? The
Household Cavalry, yeah.
OK.
I used to hide around in bushes a lot of the time, stalking people.
And...
Good training for what I do now.
You enjoyed that period of your life? How long were you in the Household Cavalry for?
In the army for 6 years in total.
6 years?
Yeah.
And what position did you finish at? What?
Doggy style.
No, sorry.
I was
Her Majesty's Cavalry.
I was a captain.
Captain in the Cavalry. Well, what a great thing. Yeah. But you spoke out recently against the cuts, didn't you? You spoke out quite passionately against this, and I thought that, and I admired you for that, because obviously you're someone who has experience of being there, and to see the effect that the cuts are making on the men and women who are serving in the forces, it's an eye-opener for the rest of us to hear what you had to say. Yeah,
very much. Well, when I was in the army, I was in Kosovo in the war in *99, and so I went to try and sing to the soldiers, or to try and sing the Taliban into surrender, and I never made it out there. And that was because the RAF TriStars that we were flying out with, I was flying out with soldiers, and those TriStars are 40 years old. That's, you know, that's a vintage aircraft. You don't go to work in anything that old, do you? And they kept on breaking down and kept on breaking down. And so, yeah, I was just writing to the paper saying, you know, this is the most amazing failing of us, that we're sending our soldiers to war in 40-year-old aircraft, and they're not getting there.
That's absurd. I mean, because no one wants to think about them having to go to war on our behalf, having to go in a conflict and have, but if we are going to do it, and if they're brave enough to do it for us, we have to support them, surely. It has to be a priority. So is that changing now?
Yeah, I think it is to a degree. I mean, I think, you know, as you say, we have to take responsibility for our soldiers because we're the ones who send them there, because we are the ones who voted in those politicians in the first place. And whether you believe in the war, you know, we are responsible for those soldiers, send them out and equipped to do the job, definitely. What has been the most amazing thing to see, actually, is the whole backing of the public around Help for Heroes.
Yeah.
And see the way the public have realised that we need to look after our soldiers when they get back, when they're wounded. And Help for Heroes has allowed us to do that, and the public has got behind that, and that's amazing.
It's a wonderful thing. It really is. It really is. And I have on that, and it has been a challenge.
Yeah.
Now, James got an album out, which is great, by the way. It's called Moon Landing. It's out now. You can perform. What track are you going to do for this one tonight first? Heart to Heart, isn't it?
OK, yeah, I'll do that.
OK, you do Heart to Heart.
You're in charge.
Now, this is...
This is the secret.
OK.
So if you want to sing like me, this is it. So I thought we'd give you the chance.
So what do we have in here? We have in here helium, right?
Helium.
Now, here's the thing. I know this seems like a stupid thing to say, but I was amazed how light this was.
It's fucking helium.
It's really light. I mean, we should use helium. We should put it under pallets and we could move big things in it and boats. OK, now, I have to say, don't play with helium at home. James is a scientist as well.
This is a legal warning. Do not play with this stuff at home or else you'll be in trouble.
So, don't do what he's just doing there. This is a scientific...
I'll bring on Brian the dog.
OK, I might have my own one here. OK, and you... Now, what are we going to sing?
I'm quite dizzy.
Let's see, Russell, you want to join? You want some of this action?
I'll get addicted to it.
Come and have some helium.
Let's do it!
Dermot, you want some of this?
I'm in.
Linda, you're welcome to join us.
Yeah, coming
out. I love the fact that Brian's coming out. Needless to say, we won't be giving Brian any helium. Pinch it. Pinch the top. Don't do it yet. Hold it. Hold on. No, don't.
Oh, man, that's fucking serious.
So again, this is a very valuable scientific experiment we're doing on James Blunt. So James, what are we going to do? We're going to sing a couple of lines to him. We're going to try and get
we can start the note. I'll do first verse, first line.
All right.
My life is brilliant. My life is pure. I saw an angel. Of that I'm sure.
We go to the chorus.
We go straight to the chorus. Everyone got some?
Yeah.
OK.
1, 2, 3, and inhale.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Linda Robson, Dermot O'Leary, Russell Bragg, James Blunt, ladies and gentlemen. And you're going to play for us live now. He's going to come up, and ladies and gentlemen, James going to perform for us live. Mr. James Blunt.
Oh, thank you.
Over there, live on the stage. Sit yourselves down, guys. We'll relax here and enjoy it. Thanks to all my guests tonight, but now, singing Heart to Heart from his brilliant album, Moon Landing, it is James Blunt, ladies and gentlemen.
There are times when I don't know where I stand. You make me feel like I'm a boy and not a man. Sometimes there are times when you don't give me a smile. I lie awake at night and worry for a while. It's okay, 'cause I know you shine even on a rainy day, and I can find your halo guides me to wherever you fall. If you need a hand to hold. heart to heart. Shed no tears. Your mind's so far away, but your body's right here. There are times when I just walked out your door. I thought I'd never get to see you anymore. It's okay, 'cause I know you shine even on a rainy day, and I can find your halo guides me to wherever you fall. If you need a hand to hold, I'll come running, because you and I won't part till we die. You should know we see eye to eye, heart to heart. Whoa, sometime. Whoa, sometime. Whoa, sometime. Wherever you fall, if you need a hand to hold, I'll come running, because you and I won't part till we die. You should know we see eye to eye, heart to heart. Can find your halo guides me to wherever you fall.
5 years have passed and times are changing, but what will it mean for those who work at the flagship department store? Find out when our drama Mr. Selfridge returns at 9 tomorrow. Next, it's the ITV News.